Welcome, guys. Today's topic is on clinical trials. As these clinical trials are going on in the drug development of COVID-19. So, before all that, let us see what is all this on drug development trials, how these are going to take place, in what phases, and let's go. As we are doing the clinical trials on human, we are going to see how these trials are going to be conducted and from which authority of India we need permission and where to apply for it. Let us see, as these clinical trials are to be done in humans, not in animals. The protocol has to be submitted to the Human Ethical Committee about what? An application has to be given to the Human Ethical Committee. What application it is? It is the investigation of a new drug, investigational theory of a new drug, an application to conduct a human study for a new drug. And the permission is given under the good clinical practice and good laboratory practice guidelines. And the registration of trial with the ICMR is done, Indian Council of Medical Research. So you register the trial. First, you give an application of investigation to the Human Ethical Committee, and they give permission based on your good clinical practice and laboratory practice guidelines, and you have to register it. And if they say yes, you will register it with the ICMR, and the permission should be taken from DCGI also, Drug Controller General of India, that we are going to conduct such new drug study. All this is legal procedure. Let us go to the phases, how these clinical trials are going to be conducted. There are the phases of clinical trials. We start from phase 1. What is that? Phase 1 is the human pharmacology and toxicity study. We are going to study the new drug on humans. So we are going to study the pharmacy aspect and the toxicity of the drug. That is phase 1 trial. And phase 2 is the therapeutic exploratory trial. How we are going to use it, in what way. As these are 4 phases, first one is human pharmacology and toxicity study. Second one is therapeutic exploratory trial. We'll see about it. I'll explain about it in the subsequent slides. Phase 3. What is phase 3 and phase 4? Phase 3 is therapeutic confirmatory trial, and phase 4 is post-marketing surveillance. In phase 3, we confirm as it is good for use, and in phase 4, otherwise we reject it, and in phase 4 it goes into market for surveillance, for survey, is the drug good or not. Let us see the first phase. First phase is human pharmacology and toxicity study. What comes under it? We look at the toxicity and safety of the drug. Whether the medicine which we are going to give it to the humans, whether it is safe or whether it is going to cause any kind of adverse effect, some kind of toxicity. First of all, we look for the maximum tolerable dose of it. How much can a human tolerate it? Whether it is 50 mg, 100 mg, the dose range might vary. When it comes to a tablet will have 50 mg, 100 mg, even 1000 mg. We look at the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of the drug policy. And in this, normal Healthy volunteers are taken, about 20 to 100, to conduct this kind of study phase, phase 1. What happens in phase 2? In phase 2, therapeutic exploratory trial, we look about the dose range, at what level the dose can be given, whether it can be given from 20 mg to 50 mg or from, and we look for the safety of the drugs, whether it is safe. We look at both the ranges and we are comparing it with the standard drug and a placebo drug. Placebo drug is just for trial basis. You keep a dummy drug and the therapeutic drug. A dummy drug will be known as a placebo drug. And in this, patients of about 100 to 50, 500 are selected to in phase 3. In phase 3, therapeutic confirmatory trial, it is actually some kind of replica of phase 2, but there is increase in number of patients. The volunteers have increased from 100 to 500 to 500 to 3000 to decrease any kind of error in judgment of the drug, whether it is good for therapeutic use. After you do that, after phase 3 trial, what happens? A new drug application is submitted by company to the FDA, Food Drug Administration. Remember in the previous slide I said application has to be submitted. So this new drug application has to be submitted by the company to the FDA, the Food Drug Administration, to give permission for marketing. And at this FDA, Food Drug Administration, gives permission for marketing. In phase 4, the post-marketing surveillance of the drug, we see the company sees the adverse effects of the drug. It tries to find out what could be the long-term adverse effects in the drugs, any kind of adverse reactions, and what could be the routes of administration of the drug, by which route you will give it, oral, IV, whether it is suitable or not, and in what dose range you are going to give, and whether it is effective or not, and in which age group, pediatric or adult or an older geriatric age group, and in what formulation you are going to give, orally, in the form of tablets, or in the form of injections or liquids or capsule. And this study is done in general population. In whatever form the company prepares, it gives it to the general population. So the drug company has to submit a periodic report of this to CDSCO, which is the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. As of now, we finished all the 4 phases of clinical trials, how these trials are. I hope you like this video on clinical trials in drugs. Thank you so much for watching.